Chosen one. Listen carefully. This is not coincidence. Heaven has interrupted everything around you to speak directly into your spirit. Right now, you are not here by chance. You are here because God has set this moment apart. Your heart has been longing for confirmation, and this is it. You are the one heaven has marked, the one chosen to carry a light that cannot be extinguished. You have often wondered why you feel different, why you can never fully blend in, even when you try. It is because you were never meant to blend in. You were born set apart, carrying a destiny sealed by the hand of God Himself. Every season of your life, even the ones filled with pain, was preparing you for this moment. The fact that you are hearing this message now is proof that heaven has not forgotten you. There is a reason your spirit feels restless. There is a reason your heart cannot settle for an ordinary life. God has written eternity on your soul. And no matter how far you've wandered, His voice calls you back. Chosen one. You must understand, you are in the middle of a divine interruption. Stop doubting. Stop questioning whether you are truly called. You are called, chosen, and appointed for such a time as this. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 138, verse 8. The Lord will fulfill His purpose for me, your steadfast love, O Lord, endures forever. Those words are not ancient echoes. They are alive and speaking to you right now. Your purpose is not fragile, not lost, not broken. It is alive within you, waiting for your agreement with heaven. Every trial you faced was evidence of your calling. Hell would not have fought you so hard if you were not dangerous to darkness. The sleepless nights, the tears nobody saw, the rejections and betrayals, all of it was designed to weaken you. Yet here you are, still standing, still seeking, still listening. That alone is proof of your strength, proof that you carry heaven's fire inside of you. Chosen one. Listen. This message is urgent because the enemy has tried to steal your focus, your confidence, your hope. But heaven says this cannot wait. You are needed now. Your voice, your presence, your obedience, these are weapons that will shift atmospheres. You cannot afford to shrink back any longer. The world is waiting for the light that only you carry. This is why I tell you, do not delay. Do not procrastinate. Do not silence the calling inside of you. Heaven is pressing on your spirit now. This moment is sacred, and you cannot treat it lightly. Pay attention, because what you choose to do with this word will echo through your destiny. I need you to do something bold. If your spirit is stirred, if you know heaven is speaking to you right now, I invite you to step into obedience in a simple act of faith. Like this message so that others may find it. Share it, because someone else is waiting for their confirmation too. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, stay connected, so your spirit continues to be fed with words that align you with your destiny. And finally, seal this moment by declaring it publicly. Type the number 777 inches, the comments right now. That number is prophetic. It represents completion, divine perfection, and the seal of God's promises over your life. When you comment it, you are not just typing digits, you are declaring, I receive this word. I step into my calling. I am chosen anew. This is your moment. Chosen one. Heaven has stopped everything to speak it into your spirit. Do not let it pass you by. Chosen one. There are mysteries about your life that you have not yet understood, long before your first cry echoed into this world. You were already written into the story of heaven. You have been marked since birth, set apart with a purpose that darkness has tried desperately to erase. The struggles you faced, the way you never quite fit in, the unexplainable weight on your heart, all of it points to the truth that you are not ordinary. Even in your childhood, there were moments when you felt the pull of something greater. Perhaps you saw visions in your dreams. Perhaps you noticed that your heart could sense things others ignored. You may have been misunderstood, called strange, or even mocked for being different. But listen carefully. What others rejected in you was the very mark of God's hand upon your life. The world does not recognize chosen vessels easily, because chosen vessels are never shaped for comfort. They are shaped for calling. Think of the patterns of your journey, the times when opportunities closed unexpectedly, when doors others walked through did not open for you. At first, it seemed like rejection. It seemed like failure. But now, as your spirit awakens, you begin to see it for what it truly was: divine protection. Heaven has been guiding you, even through disappointment, to keep you aligned with your higher destiny. It was proclaimed in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 9. He has saved us and called us to a holy life, by purpose and grace. Chosen one. Reflect on the moments of survival in your life. You should not even be here if it were up to the enemy's plans. Accidents, illnesses, heartbreaks, betrayals. Yet each time, you rose again. Why? Because you are marked. Because there is something in you that cannot be destroyed. No matter how much hell tries, every attempt against your life has only confirmed what heaven already declared. You are protected by purpose. Your difference is your evidence. While others could walk in compromise without consequence, you felt conviction burn like fire in your spirit. While others seemed free to wander, your steps were always redirected back onto the narrow path. This is not because you are less free, but because you are more chosen. You cannot belong to the world because you belong to heaven. Chosen one. Let this truth sink deep. You were not overlooked. You were hidden. Hidden so that when the time comes for your unveiling, no one can deny the hand of God upon you. Hidden not to be forgotten, but to be preserved for such a time as this. The pain of being set apart has always been heavy, but it is the very proof of your destiny. Do not despise the years of feeling misunderstood. Do not curse the loneliness. Do not regret the paths that seem to delay you. Every step, every tear, every unanswered question was part of the refining that proves your mark. Heaven trusted you with isolation because heaven knew you would not break. And now, your spirit is beginning to awaken to why you endured it all. Chosen one, hear me clearly. You are not here to live a life of survival alone. You are here to live a life of impact. Your mark is not just for you, it is for nations, families, and generations waiting for the light you carry. You were chosen not to blend into the crowd, but to rise above it, to shine as a beacon where others are lost. That is why your path has been different, and that is why your spirit feels restless. It is the mark calling you forward. Your birth was not random. Your journey was not wasted. You are the evidence of divine intention, walking in human form. Never forget this. Chosen one. You were marked since birth, and no force on earth or in hell can erase that mark. Chosen one, you have carried battles that nobody saw. The weight of silent struggles pressed against your chest in the stillness of night. Tears that stained your pillow were hidden from the world. Yet every drop was counted by heaven. You know what it feels like to be overlooked, rejected, and misunderstood. But what you must understand now is this: none of it was wasted. The loneliness you endured shaped your strength. The betrayal you suffered sharpened your discernment. The nights when you whispered prayers, unsure if anyone was listening, were the very moments God was building endurance inside of you. You are not standing here as a broken soul. You are standing as one who has been refined by fire. Every scar is a testimony. Every wound that healed is a prophecy of the strength you now carry. Do not let the enemy lie to you and say you are weak. You are not weak. You are dangerous to darkness because you have survived everything that was designed to destroy you. The reason your life has felt like constant warfare is because of the treasure you carry inside. Hell does not waste its weapons on those who are empty. Hell only fights those who are full of destiny. According to what is revealed in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 2, "When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze." This is not a distant promise. It is a declaration over your very survival. The fact that you are still here proves that God's hand has never left you. Chosen one, I want you to pause for a moment. Reflect on your story. How many times should you have given up? How many times did you feel crushed under the weight of your circumstances? And yet here you are, alive, listening, receiving. That alone is proof that heaven's purpose is stronger than hell's attacks. The battles that broke others did not break you. The pain that silenced others gave you a louder voice. Every rejection, every loss, every lonely road was the furnace that shaped you into unshakable steel. Do you see now? Your silent battles were not evidence of abandonment, they were evidence of preparation. Heaven was molding a warrior out of you. And warriors are not built in comfort, they are forged in fire. Now comes the choice. Will you see your scars as shame? Or will you wear them as medals of victory? Will you look at your past with regret? Or will you rise with gratitude that you survived what others could not? Chosen one, the battles you endured are not your identity, they are your testimony. And that testimony will set others free. This is the moment I ask you to take a step of faith. Right now, write in the comments, "I am chosen," not as empty words, but as a declaration. Say it boldly. Say it with fire. When you type those 3 words, you are announcing to heaven and hell alike that you know who you are. You are not forgotten, not broken, not abandoned. You are chosen. Every time your eyes see that declaration, it will remind you that your silent battles did not end in defeat. They ended in proof. Proof that you are still here. Proof that God carried you through. Proof that you are marked for destiny. Chosen one. Never forget this. Your tears were seeds. Your pain was training. Your battles were preparation. You survived because you are chosen. And what you survived will become the very weapon that leads others into victory. Chosen one, you carry something within you that cannot be explained by logic alone. It is a light that unsettles the atmosphere, a presence that causes darkness to retreat even when you say nothing. People may not always understand why they react strongly to you. Some are drawn. Others feel uncomfortable. But it is never neutral. That is because you carry divine authority. When you walk into a room, you shift the unseen realm. This is not arrogance. It is reality. Heaven has placed a mark of light upon you, and that light terrifies what hides in shadows. Some people may avoid you, not because you did anything wrong, but because the light in you exposes what they are trying to keep hidden. Others may cling to you without understanding why, because your spirit brings them peace in a way nothing else does. Your very existence is a disruption to darkness. This is why the attacks against you have felt relentless. Hell recognizes who you are. Even when you doubt it yourself, every distraction, every temptation, every attempt to silence your voice was orchestrated to dim the fire inside of you. But despite all of this, you are still shining. Despite every effort to bury you, the light remains. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." That is not just a truth about Christ alone. It is a truth that flows into you because His light lives in you. No matter how heavy the opposition, no matter how deep the shadows, the darkness cannot and will not extinguish what heaven has placed in you. Chosen one. This is why your life feels like constant resistance. It is not because you are weak, it is because you are radiant. The brighter you shine, the more noticeable you become in the spiritual realm. The enemy would rather have you doubt your identity than recognize the authority you already carry. That is why the lies come. That is why you hear whispers of unworthiness, insignificance, or failure. They are distractions meant to keep you from stepping fully into who you are. But look closely at your life. Think of the moments when your words encouraged someone at just the right time. Think of how your presence alone has calmed storms in others, even when you were unaware of it. Heaven was shining through you. That is what you carry. Chosen one. You are a vessel of divine light. A walking testimony that the power of God is not confined to temples or traditions. It flows through the willing. This light within you is not fragile. It does not flicker with every gust of wind. It grows stronger the more you yield yourself to God. The battles you faced were not sent to snuff it out. They were meant to test and reveal its endurance. And here you are, still shining, proving that nothing can silence what God has ordained. Remember this: you are not ordinary. You are not invisible. You are a carrier of light, a vessel of heaven's authority, and nothing in this world or beyond it can put out what God has ignited in you. Chosen one. This is the moment you cannot ignore. For too long, you have felt the tug on your spirit, the gentle voice urging you forward. Yet, hesitation has kept you in the shadows. But heaven is speaking clearly. This is not the time to delay. You cannot run any longer from what God has written over your life. There is an urgency in the Spirit because your calling is not only about you, it is about the lives connected to you. Every person you are meant to impact, every chain you are meant to break, every atmosphere you are meant to shift is waiting on your yes. You are the answer to someone else's prayer. That is why heaven presses on you now. Think about this. The world has no shortage of voices, but very few voices carry true authority. Yours does. Not because of who you are in your own strength, but because of who dwells within you. You may feel inadequate, unqualified, even unprepared. But heaven does not choose the qualified. Heaven qualifies the chosen. You are the vessel, and heaven is the fire. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. These words are a charge to you today. Do not shrink back. Do not fear what lies ahead. You are not walking alone. Chosen one. This is your wake-up call. How long will you hide the gift inside of you? How long will you pretend you are ordinary when everything about your life screams otherwise? The hesitation must end. The fear must break. The time of delay is over. God is pulling you into alignment. And all of heaven is waiting for your obedience. Now, I want to speak to your heart with sincerity. If these words are stirring something deep inside of you, do not keep it to yourself. Share this message not for numbers, not for attention, but because someone else is desperately waiting for the confirmation you are receiving right now. When you share, you become a carrier of this fire, passing it into hands that are weary and hearts that are hungry. And yes, like this message, not as a casual click, but as an act of agreement. When you press that button, you are declaring, I align myself with this word. I believe what heaven says about me. It is a small act, but in the Spirit, it is powerful. If you have not yet, subscribe, not for me, but for you. Stay connected, because the flow of words you receive here is not random. It is a stream from heaven designed to strengthen you, guide you, and remind you of who you are. Do not drift in and out of this current plant yourself, where your spirit can grow. This is not about building platforms, it is about building warriors. You are one of them. And as you take these steps, listening, agreeing, sharing, you step into obedience in the small things, which prepares you for obedience in the greater things. Heaven always honors the faithful, chosen one. No more delay. The call you have been avoiding will not disappear. It will grow louder until you answer. And today, right now, you hear it again. You are chosen. And the time is now. Step forward, for heaven waits on your yes. Chosen one. Do you feel the tension in your spirit right now? It is because you are standing at a threshold. Mercy is abundant, but it is not endless. There comes a point where hesitation becomes rebellion, where procrastination becomes disobedience. Heaven is warning you now. Do not treat this moment lightly. You have felt the nudge to step forward, yet you've delayed. You told yourself you'd wait for the right time. But hear me, the right time is now. Every delay carries a cost. Every time you ignore the voice within, your heart grows quieter to the sound of heaven. And if you continue too long, you risk becoming blind to what was once clear. This is why the urgency is so heavy today. God is patient. Yes, but his patience is not permission. Mercy is not a blanket to cover rebellion. It is an open door meant for you to walk through. And if the door remains ignored, it does not stay open forever. The prophet Elijah once declared in 1 Kings, chapter 18, verse 21, how long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal is God, follow him. That challenge is not only for the people of Israel, it is for you today. How long will you hesitate between light and darkness, How long will you stand on the fence, knowing you are chosen, but acting as if you are not chosen one? This is a sobering word, but it is also a merciful one. The fact that you are hearing this now means heaven has not closed the door on you yet. It means God is still reaching for you, still calling, still reminding you that your destiny is not cancelled. But do not mistake his reaching for his approval of delay. The clock is ticking. The enemy loves to whisper, "There's still time. You can wait a little longer." But those are the most dangerous lies, because while you wait, the fire inside you dims. While you wait, the opportunities begin to pass. While you wait, the door begins to close. This is not to terrify you, it is to awaken you. Conviction is a gift. If you feel it now, it means the Spirit of God is still working on you. Chosen one, you must make a decision. Will you step into obedience fully? Or will you remain lukewarm? Will you allow fear, comfort, or distractions to chain you down? Or will you rise into the calling that is already written over your life? This moment matters, because what you do now will echo into your future. I want you to seal this moment with a prophetic act. Write in the comments, 444. This is not a casual number. It represents divine alignment, stability, and the solid foundation God is laying under your feet. By writing 444, you are declaring, "I refuse to waver any longer. I align myself with heaven. I stand firm." Do not underestimate the power of this act. It is not superstition, it is agreement. Every time your eyes fall on that number, let it remind you that you chose obedience when heaven called. Let it remind you that you stepped away from hesitation and into destiny. You are not like the rest. You cannot live halfway anymore. You are chosen, and your yes carries weight in eternity. The door is open now. Do not delay. Do not waver. Step through. While the invitation is still extended, chosen one, let your heart settle into this truth. Your enemies are already powerless. You have feared them. You have felt their attacks. You have seen their schemes. But what you must recognize now is that none of it holds authority over you. The battle has been fierce, but the outcome has already been decided. From the beginning, heaven wrote victory into your story. Every weapon raised against you was permitted only to reveal what could not be broken. The attacks were real, yes, but their success was never possible. Darkness may have surrounded you, but it could not consume you. Accusations may have been spoken, but they could not define you. Plans may have been formed, but they could not prosper. As the Apostle reminds us in his letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 31, "If God is for us, who can be against us?" This is not a poetic phrase, it is a living reality. No force of hell, no human opposition, no unseen curse can outweigh the favor of God that rests upon your life. You are shielded by his presence, and that shield is impenetrable. Think back, chosen one, to the moments when the attacks came hardest, the seasons when people turned against you without reason, the times when your name was dragged, when your integrity was questioned, when lies swirled around you like a storm. Yet, in the middle of it all, truth remained. You were not destroyed. In fact, you grew stronger. The enemy wanted to crush your spirit, but instead your faith deepened. The enemy tried to silence your voice, but instead Your message grew louder. Every attempt to bind you became fuel for your breakthrough. Do you see now? Your enemies were not winning. They were unknowingly serving the purpose of heaven by pushing you closer to your destiny. Chosen one, understand this. Victory is not something you are waiting for. It is something you already carry. You walk in it. You breathe in it. You exist in it. The blood that covers you is the guarantee of triumph. Your enemies may continue to rage, but their noise is hollow. Their weapons are empty. Their threats are powerless. That is why you must not waste your energy fighting battles that are already won. Stop exhausting yourself over opinions, rumors, or the schemes of those who oppose you. Your task is not to convince them or to defend yourself. Your task is to keep walking in the authority you already possess. Victory is not about proving yourself. It is about remaining steadfast in the truth of who you are. Consider how the enemy operates: through intimidation, through fear, through illusions of power. But illusions do not change reality. A shadow may look large, but it has no substance. In the same way, your enemies may appear mighty, but in truth, they are powerless before the hand of God. You have been sustained through storms others could not have survived. You have endured what should have crushed you. You have risen after falls that looked final. All of this proves one thing: you are untouchable in the plan of God, not because of your own strength, but because heaven fights for you. So lift your head, chosen one. Walk with boldness. Do not tremble at the sight of resistance. Do not shrink back when opposition rises. Know that your enemies are already defeated, and you are already crowned with victory. What was sent to break you has only revealed your unshakable foundation. Remember this truth: the louder the enemy rages, the clearer the evidence that you are on the right path. For if you were not dangerous to darkness, the attacks would not come. Yet they came, and yet you remain. That is victory. That is proof. That is the mark of the chosen. Chosen one. There have been whispers in your nights, visions in your dreams, and signs that felt too precise to be coincidence. You have noticed patterns, numbers repeating, encounters that stirred your heart in ways you could not explain. These were not random accidents, they were confirmations. Heaven has been speaking, and your spirit has been discerning. Often, you have wondered, was that just my imagination? But deep inside, you knew it was more than that. The pull you felt, the sudden clarity, the messages that arrived at the exact moment you needed them, all of it was heaven's way of saying, you are being guided. You are not lost. The journey is ordered. Sometimes the dreams were vivid, almost too real to dismiss. Perhaps you woke with a heaviness, or with a vision of something that later unfolded in your waking life. Do not ignore these moments. Heaven often plants seeds in the night, because when your body rests, your spirit is most open. We find in the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 28, "And afterward, I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions." Consider the strange timing of events in your life. The person who called you right when you were about to give up, the words you stumbled across at the exact hour your spirit was breaking. These are not coincidences. They are divine interventions. Heaven has been orchestrating your steps, aligning people and moments to remind you that you are not wandering, you are being led. Chosen one. The signs are everywhere, but they require spiritual eyes to see. A casual observer may dismiss them as chance, but your spirit recognizes the pattern, that sudden inner knowing when danger is near, that unexplainable peace when making a hard choice, that gentle nudge to move, speak, or remain silent. All of it is the Spirit guiding you. Do not ignore these confirmations. The enemy would prefer you to brush them off, to label them as imagination, to dismiss them as luck. But the more you lean into them, the stronger your discernment becomes. What begins as subtle impressions grows into clear direction. You are being trained to recognize the voice of heaven in every season. This is also why your journey feels different. Others may live casually, walking without sensitivity to the Spirit. But you cannot. Your path is marked with divine interruptions. You may try to walk in your own way, but heaven pulls you back. You may try to silence the visions, but they return. You may try to ignore the signs, but they intensify. This is not a burden, it is evidence of intimacy with the one who chose you. Chosen one. Do not fear the mysteries of how God speaks. He uses the language of dreams, whispers, and signs because they bypass the noise of the world. He reaches you in ways that remind you, you are never abandoned. Every symbol, every vision, every encounter is like a thread woven into the tapestry of your destiny. And though you may not always understand each piece, when you look back, you will see the masterpiece that was forming all along. So, open your eyes wider. Pay attention to what seems small. Honor the visions that come in the night. Cherish the signs that meet you in the day. Heaven is speaking constantly, and your spirit is learning to recognize the voice. Chosen one. You are not wandering blindly. You are walking under divine guidance, and every whisper, every dream, every sign is heaven's way of reminding you, you are chosen, and your steps are ordered. Chosen one. You must remember this. You are not ordinary. The blood that flows through your spirit is royal. Heaven has called you child, heir, and vessel of glory. You walk not as a beggar searching for scraps, but as one who carries the inheritance of eternity. That is why life has always felt heavier for you, because you were never meant to live small. You may have grown up feeling overlooked, unnoticed, or even unwanted, but in the courts of heaven, your name has always been spoken with honor. You carry authority, not the kind the world gives through wealth or titles, but the kind that cannot be taken away, the authority of a chosen heir. According to what is revealed in the book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 9, you are chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's possession, called into light. Think of how kings and queens walk. Their posture reflects dignity. Their speech carries weight. Their presence shifts rooms. This is the way you are meant to walk, not in arrogance, but in authority, not demanding attention, but commanding atmospheres simply by carrying heaven's presence. You do not shrink to fit into the expectations of others. You rise, because rising is in your nature. Do not let the enemy convince you otherwise. He wants you to believe you are powerless, that you are insignificant, that your voice does not matter. But the truth is the opposite. You terrify the darkness because you remind hell of its defeat. You carry the seal of heaven, and every step you take is a reminder that the kingdom of God advances through you. Chosen one. Do not forget the crown that awaits you. Even now, heaven sees you as royal. Though the world may still see you as ordinary, the crown is already prepared, waiting for the moment you step fully into your assignment. You may not see it yet, but you are walking toward it every time you choose obedience. Every time you choose light over darkness. Every time you choose faith over fear. This is why you cannot live like everyone else. You cannot entertain what others entertain. You cannot settle where others settle. Royal blood demands a higher standard, and though it feels costly, it is proof of your calling. Heaven is not asking you to sacrifice to punish you. It is preparing you to wear the crown with dignity. Now I want you to make a declaration of who you are. Write in the comments, "I choose my crown." Do not write it lightly. Do not write it casually. Write it as a royal decree over your own life. When you declare it, you are not only affirming your identity, you are rejecting every lie that tried to convince you otherwise. You are stating that you will no longer bow to fear, shame, or distraction. Every time you see those words, let them remind you, you are royal. You are chosen. You are crowned. The bloodline of heaven flows through you. And nothing in this world or beyond it can strip away your inheritance. Chosen one, rise into your royalty. Walk in your authority. Wear the crown that heaven has placed over your head. The world may not see it yet, but in the spirit, it already gleams. Chosen one, heaven is holding something in store for you, a crown unlike anything this world can offer. But hear this truth, crowns are not handed out carelessly. They are entrusted to those who walk in obedience. The weight of what you are called to carry requires surrender, and the crown reserved for you is the reward of faithfulness. You may have wondered why the path has been so demanding, why the sacrifices, why the relentless pruning. It is because heaven has been preparing you to wear something glorious. A crown cannot rest on an unstable head. Your discipline, your endurance, your persistence, these are the foundations that ensure you can carry what is waiting for you. We are reminded in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 12, "Blessed who perseveres under trial, stood the test, receive crown of life, promised to the loving." This promise is alive in you. The crown is not simply for survival, it is for those who overcome with love, who choose God again and again, even in the fire. Chosen one. The trials you have faced were not punishments, they were training grounds. Every moment of pressure was shaping you for royalty. The fire did not come to destroy you, it came to purify you. When you look back, you will see that what felt like loss was actually preparation, and what felt like delay was alignment. Now listen closely. The crown is not just a future promise, it is also a present reality. When you walk in obedience today, you carry the authority of heaven already. Your choices are setting the stage for what heaven will place fully upon you. You are not waiting to become chosen. You already are. The crown only reveals what has been true all along. This is why obedience matters so much. It is not about rigid rules, it is about readiness. Every act of surrender, every yes to God, every rejection of compromise polishes the crown you are meant to wear. Obedience positions you for the weight of glory. And now, I want to speak to your heart with complete sincerity. If these words are stirring something in you, if you feel heaven pulling you deeper, do not let it end here. Like this message, not as a casual click, but as an act of agreement. It is your way of saying, yes, I hear this. Yes, I align with it. Oh, share this message. Not for me, but because someone you love may need this exact reminder. You never know whose life could be shifted because you passed along the word that changed you. Sharing is not promotion, it is ministry. It is obedience in action. And subscribe, not as routine, but as commitment. Stay planted where your spirit can be watered. If heaven has led you here, it is not random. This is a stream of life meant to strengthen you for the road ahead. By subscribing, you are choosing to remain connected to a flow that keeps your spirit awake, alive, and aligned. Chosen one, your crown is waiting. Heaven has not forgotten you. Do not doubt whether you are worthy. You are being made ready. Walk forward with boldness, knowing that the trials you endured were never wasted. They were shaping you for this exact moment, this exact calling, this exact destiny. Lift your head, straighten your shoulders, walk as one who knows a crown awaits, because the truth is, it is already yours. Chosen one. There is something you must recognize about your journey. Nothing you endured was wasted. Every hardship, every loss, every heartbreak has been part of a refining process. You may have felt abandoned in those moments, but in truth, you were being shaped in the fire of purpose. The refiner's fire is not meant to destroy, it is meant to transform. Gold does not shine when it is first pulled from the earth. It is hidden beneath dirt, mixed with impurities, dull and unremarkable. Only when it passes through fire does its true value appear. You, chosen one, are the same. The fire you passed through was not punishment, it was purification. Think of the times when life stripped you down to nothing, the losses you thought you could never survive, the relationships that broke you, the battles that left you gasping for strength. And yet, each time, you rose again. Each time, something within you grew clearer, stronger, more unshakable. That was the refiner's fire at work. We are reminded in the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, verse 9, I will refine them like silver and test them like gold. They will call on my name, and I will answer them. I will say, they are my people. And they will say, the Lord is our God. This was not written only for the people of old, it is written for you. Your testing is not meaningless. It is evidence that heaven claims you as its own. Chosen one, your scars are not signs of weakness. They are marks of survival. They are reminders that the fire did not consume you. It refined you. Others may see only the pain in your story, but heaven sees the glory that emerged from it. The very things you thought disqualified you have become proof of your resilience. You may have asked, why me? Why so much pain? Why so many storms? The answer is this: vessels of glory cannot be built in comfort. They are forged in fire. To carry the weight of destiny, you had to be strengthened in the furnace of affliction. Without it, your foundation would have cracked under the weight of your calling. Every tear watered the seeds of endurance. Every rejection carved out deeper compassion. Every delay taught you patience and trust. Nothing was wasted. Nothing. The fire stripped away what could not last, leaving only what is eternal. And now, look at you, stronger than you realize, wiser than before, more sensitive to the voice of God. more aware of the fragility of life, more determined to live with purpose. That is the fruit of the fire. You are not the same person who entered it. You emerged, purified, with a light that shines brighter than before. Do not despise the fire. It has been your greatest teacher. While others ran from the heat, you endured. And because of that endurance, you now carry a depth of strength that cannot be imitated. You have been trusted with the refiner's fire because heaven saw you as worthy of transformation. Chosen one. Hold your head high. Do not hide your scars, for they are evidence of your survival. Do not resent your past, for it was the soil of your growth. The fire has done its work, and though it was painful, it has revealed your worth. You are gold-tested, proven, chosen one. Listen carefully. You have stepped into a shift in time. What once felt delayed will now accelerate. What seemed stuck will begin to move. The seasons of endless waiting are giving way to a divine quickening. Heaven is aligning events, opportunities, and people in a way that will make up for lost time. You may have felt as if the years slipped through your hands, as if you missed your chance, but God is a redeemer of time. He does not simply restore what was lost, He multiplies it. Where the enemy stole years, heaven is preparing to release abundance. The path that seemed so long will suddenly shorten. Doors that were locked for decades will swing open in moments. Chosen one. This is the prophetic time shift. You will see in days what others labor for in years. Do not be surprised when acceleration feels overwhelming. You prayed for breakthrough, but breakthrough is never gentle. It is sudden, forceful, undeniable. The shift is not by your power, it is by the Spirit. The Word of God declares in the book of Amos, chapter 9, verse 13, "The days are coming, declares the Lord, when the reaper will be overtaken by the plowman and the planter by the one treading grapes. New wine will drip from the mountains and flow from all the hills." This is the picture of acceleration harvest happening so quickly that sowing and reaping collide. What once took years will now take moments. Chosen one. Prepare your spirit. Acceleration requires readiness. If you cling to old ways, the new flow will overwhelm you. Let go of fear. Let go of doubt. Let go of hesitation. Heaven is not asking if you feel ready. Heaven is declaring that now is the time. Your readiness will come as you move, not as you wait. Consider how Joseph moved from prison to palace in a single day. Think of how David shifted from shepherd boy to king overnight. These are not fairy tales, they are blueprints. Acceleration has always been part of God's design for those who are faithful in the hidden places. What looks like a lifetime of obscurity suddenly transforms into a moment of elevation. Chosen one. You must stop measuring your future by the pace of your past. Do not assume that just because things were slow before, they will remain slow. God is not bound by time. He bends time around His purpose. That is what is happening to you now. But hear this. Acceleration is not only a blessing, it is a responsibility. When heaven moves swiftly, you must move with it. Hesitation will cause you to miss the window. Obedience must become immediate. Trust must become second nature. The quicker the shift, the deeper your reliance on God must be. And now, I want you to mark this moment in a prophetic way. Write in the comments, 555. This number carries the meaning of divine grace, multiplied, of transition, of major change that ushers in God's perfect will. By declaring 555, you are not just typing numbers, you are stepping into agreement with the acceleration heaven is releasing over your life. Let it be a seal over your spirit. No more delay. No more stagnation. No more wasted years. You are stepping into speed, into suddenness, into fulfillment. And as you declare it, watch how heaven aligns your steps with divine timing. Chosen one, do not fear the shift. Rejoice in it. For this is the season where everything changes, not slowly, not someday, but now. Chosen one, there is a mantle resting upon you that you may not yet fully see, but all of heaven recognizes it. A mantle is not just a covering, it is an assignment, an authority, a visible sign in the spiritual realm that you are chosen for a purpose greater than yourself. When you carry a mantle, you do not walk alone. You walk accompanied by the presence of God and by angelic armies assigned to your path. This is why the weight you feel is different from others. People around you may live casually, unconcerned with consequences, but you cannot. Heaven has entrusted you with responsibility. When you speak, atmospheres shift. When you pray, things move in the unseen realm. When you step into a place, you do not step in empty, you bring the government of heaven with you. The prophet Elisha understood this when he received the mantle of Elijah. It was more than a piece of cloth. It was a transfer of power, a release of authority. From that moment on, he walked differently. Chosen one. In the same way, the mantle on your life sets you apart. You may not see it with your natural eyes, but the spiritual world knows it well. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. This is why the mantle is necessary. You are not just living a natural life, you are waging a spiritual battle, and heaven has equipped you with what you need to stand. Chosen one. Think about the times you felt resistance that made no sense, the sudden heaviness, the unexplainable opposition, the constant warfare. It was not random, it was targeted. Hell recognizes your mantle even before you fully understand it yourself. That is why the battles have been intense, because you are dangerous to darkness. But hear this, the mantle is not a burden meant to crush you. It is a covering meant to empower you. It ensures that you are never fighting alone. You carry authority that hell cannot ignore. You may have felt weak at times, but weakness in your flesh only highlights the strength of the Spirit within you. The mantle is proof that you are backed by heaven. Do not despise the weight of this responsibility. Instead, honor it with every decision, every word, every step. Remember the mantle you carry. It is not just about your own life, it is about the destinies connected to you. Your obedience is not private, it reverberates into generations. Chosen one. You must walk with awareness. You must know that angels accompany you, that your prayers echo in heaven, that your presence shifts things even when you do not speak. Do not underestimate this. You are not powerless. You are a vessel chosen to carry authority, and the mantle proves it. You were never meant to fight as an ordinary soldier. You were meant to command as one entrusted with heavenly assignment. The mantle is both your armor and your evidence. It reveals to darkness that you are untouchable, and it reveals to heaven that you are trustworthy. So wear it with boldness. Do not hide from it. Do not downplay it. Do not doubt it. The mantle has already been placed upon you, and no force can strip it away. Walk as one who knows heaven fights beside you, because it does. Chosen one. The light within you is not just for your own survival. It was placed in you to guide others. You are not merely a vessel of hope for yourself. You are a torchbearer for generations. Your presence is meant to light paths for those lost in the shadows, to reveal direction where confusion reigns, and to ignite courage in hearts that have grown weary. This is why your life feels weighty. It is not only your destiny at stake, it is the destinies of many tied to your obedience. When you rise, others will rise. When you speak, others will hear truth. When you shine, others will see the way forward. You are not carrying a personal light. You are carrying a torch meant to ignite flames in countless souls. As the prophet wrote in the scroll of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, "For the revelation awaits an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." Chosen one. This is your appointed time. What once lingered, what once felt like delay, is now awakening. Your torch is not dim. It is ready to blaze. Consider the power of a single torch in a cave of darkness. It not only illuminates the steps of the one who carries it, but it also reveals the path for everyone nearby. That is you. Your light is not selfish. It is contagious. It spreads. It strengthens. It exposes, and it calls others out of hiding. Even when you are unaware, your life is already influencing those around you. Think of the people drawn to you without explanation. Some come because they sense safety in your spirit. Others linger because your presence brings peace they cannot find elsewhere. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. Your light is working, even in silence, even in ordinary moments. Heaven is shining through you. But with this torch comes responsibility. You cannot hide it under fear or shame. You cannot dim it to make others comfortable. The torch was not given to blend into darkness. It was given to disrupt it. And disruption always causes resistance. That is why some people resist you. It is not you they fear. It is the light that exposes what they are unwilling to confront. Chosen one. You must embrace this role. You must accept that you are a carrier of truth, that your very life preaches, even when your mouth is closed. Do not underestimate the impact of your torch. It may feel small at times, but small flames can set entire forests ablaze. The enemy knows this, which is why he tried so hard to silence you. If he could convince you that your light was insignificant, he could prevent others from finding their way. But he has failed. The fact that you are still burning after every storm is proof that your torch cannot be extinguished. Now, rise as the torchbearer you were meant to be. Walk boldly into the places that feel dark. Shine without apology. Lead with compassion, but also with courage. Your torch is not only for today, it will ignite paths for generations to come. Families will be restored because of your light. Communities will shift because of your presence. Hearts will awaken because you carried what others were too afraid to hold. Chosen one. Do not shrink back. Do not doubt the fire you carry. Lift your torch high, for the world is desperate for the light you bring. Chosen one. There comes a point in every journey where separation must happen. You cannot carry everything and everyone into the place God is calling you. There are relationships, habits, and even versions of yourself that cannot cross into your next season. This is not punishment, it is preparation. Heaven is cutting away what would only weigh you down. You may feel the sting of loss, the ache of letting go. But remember, pruning is proof of growth. A tree that bears fruit must be trimmed so it can bear even more. In the same way, the separation you feel is not to harm you, but to enlarge you. You cannot pour new wine into old wineskins. You cannot enter the next level with the chains of the last. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, chapter 6, verse 17, "Come out, be separate, says the Lord. Touch no unclean thing, and I will receive you." This is a call not only to holiness, but to destiny. God is not taking things from you to leave you empty. He is clearing space for what is greater. Chosen one. Some doors are closing, not because you failed, but because you have outgrown them. Some people are leaving not because you are unworthy, but because your light exposes what they refuse to confront. Do not chase what heaven has cut off. What is leaving is making room for what is coming. Yes, the process hurts. Yes, it feels lonely at times. But what looks like subtraction is actually multiplication. Every separation you endure is clearing the path to the fullness of your calling. Do not fight to hold what heaven is asking you to release. Trust that God sees the end from the beginning, and his pruning is always intentional. Now, I want to speak directly to your heart with honesty. If this message resonates with you, if you feel the weight of this word confirming what you already sensed, don't let it stay silent. Like this message, not as routine, but as agreement. I accept the pruning. I welcome the process. It's a small click, but it carries spiritual weight. Share this word. Somewhere, someone is clinging desperately to what heaven is trying to remove. They need to know they are not being punished. They are being prepared. Your share could be the very confirmation that gives them courage to let go. And write in the comments a declaration of your surrender. Keep it simple, but let it be real. Let it flow from your heart as if heaven is listening, because it is epic. When you comment, you are stepping into agreement, not just with these words, but with the separation heaven is already orchestrating in your life. If you have not yet, subscribe, not as a ritual, but as a decision to stay connected to what nourishes your spirit. You have felt heaven speak here, and there is more ahead. Do not wander in and out. Plant yourself where you can continue to be reminded of your calling, strengthened in your obedience, and equipped for your destiny. Chosen one. This is your season of separation. Do not fear it. Do not resist it. Do not mourn what heaven is removing. Rejoice, because what is leaving was never meant to go with you, and what is coming is greater than anything you have had to release. Walk forward unafraid. Heaven is with you, and your crown is near. Chosen one. The journey you have walked, the pain you have endured, and the battles you have fought are all leading to this, the revealing of glory through your life. What once seemed like meaningless suffering is now becoming proof of God's greatness. You are not only a survivor, you are a vessel of his power, favor, and victory. Glory is not reserved for a distant heaven alone. It is revealed in the here and now, through chosen vessels who carry God's presence into the world, and you are one of them. The struggles you faced were the soil where glory would grow. The scars you carry are the canvas where His light shines the brightest. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 3, verse 3. You, Lord, are shield around me, my glory, the one who lifts my head high. These words echo across time into your life today. God Himself is your glory. It is not dependent on human approval, not based on possessions or titles. It comes from the one who covers you, defends you, and raises your head even after the world tried to bow it in shame. Chosen one. Your story is not one of defeat, it is one of transformation. You walked through valleys that others did not survive, and yet here you stand, not by accident, not by luck, but by divine design. The same God who shielded David from his enemies has shielded you from forces seen and unseen, and now His glory shines through every part of your being. Do you see how your presence carries something unexplainable? People may look at you and not understand why they feel peace in your company, or why their burdens lighten after hearing your words. It is because the glory of God rests on you. You are not ordinary. You are not forgotten. You are the living evidence that His presence transforms broken vessels into beacons of hope. Chosen one. This glory cannot be hidden. It radiates even when you feel weak. It speaks even when you remain silent. It testifies even when you doubt yourself. For glory is not about you, it is about Him working through you. The more you surrender, the brighter it shines. The more you yield, the stronger it flows. Think of how gold reflects light after it has been refined. Think of how a diamond sparkles after pressure has shaped it. That is you, the fire, the weight, the storms, all of it revealed the brilliance that was always inside of you. And now, the world will see what heaven already knew. You are a vessel of glory. But remember, glory is not for pride. It is for purpose. When people see the transformation in you, they will not be able to deny the power of God. Your life itself becomes a testimony, a living sermon, declaring that God is faithful. You are the proof that His promises are real, that His shield protects, that His light overcomes every shadow. Chosen one. Walk boldly in this. Do not hide what God has revealed. Do not minimize the impact of your story. Every victory you carry is fuel for someone else's hope. Every breakthrough you've experienced is a map for others still wandering in their storms. When they see your life, they will see His glory. And they will know that if God can do it for you, He can do it for them. Lift your head, for you are crowned with favor. Step forward, for you walk in power. Speak boldly, for your voice carries weight. You are no longer defined by the wounds of the past. You are defined by the glory revealed in you today. Chosen one. Never forget, you are not ordinary, not replaceable, not invisible. You are chosen, and in you, the glory of God is revealed. Chosen one. The journey has brought you here to the full realization of who you are and what you carry. Every step, every trial, every victory has been preparing you for this moment of sealing. You are not just called for a season, you are chosen forever. Your destiny is not fragile, it is eternal. You must understand the weight of this truth. Being chosen does not fade with time. It is not revoked when you stumble, nor cancelled when you doubt. It is sealed by the one who never changes. The calling on your life is as permanent as the stars that hang in the heavens. You may have wandered, you may have questioned, but the mark of heaven has never left you. Heaven speaks clearly in the book of Romans, chapter 11, verse 29. For God's gifts and his call are irrevocable. These words are not distant, they are for you. What God placed in you cannot be erased. No failure, no rejection, no attack can remove it. You are sealed. You are secured. You are chosen. Chosen one. Let this truth give you rest. You do not have to strive to earn what has already been given. You do not have to compete for a place that was reserved for you before the foundation of the world. Your assignment is uniquely yours. Your light is uniquely yours. Your crown is uniquely yours. No one can take what heaven has sealed, but this sealing also carries responsibility. To be chosen forever is to walk in a life that testifies of eternity. Your actions, your words, your presence, they are not small. They are echoes that carry beyond this moment into the generations that follow. You are not living for today alone. You are planting seeds that will outlive you. Think of the impact of your perseverance. Think of the testimonies that will rise because you did not quit. Families will be healed because you stood firm. Chains will be broken because you carried light. Nations may even be touched because you obeyed. This is the weight of being sealed. As chosen, it stretches beyond your own life into eternity. Chosen one. Do not fear this responsibility. You are not alone in it. The same God who sealed you will sustain you. The same Spirit who marked you will guide you. The same presence that carried you through valleys will carry you into glory. What began in grace will end in victory. Look back for a moment. Remember the tears, the nights of silence, the storms that felt endless. And now look at yourself here, hearing this word. Still standing, still breathing, still chosen. That is the evidence of the seal. You could not have kept yourself if heaven had not kept you. So now, lift your head, stand tall. You are unshakable. Not because you have never fallen, but because heaven has lifted you each time. You are unstoppable. Not because the road has been easy, but because no weapon has prospered against you. You are sealed, not for a season, but forever. Chosen one. Never doubt again. You are not temporary, not replaceable, not uncertain. You are eternally marked, eternally loved, eternally chosen. Walk boldly in this truth, for it will carry you into every promise yet to unfold. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this journey. But in truth, this is not an end, it is a beginning. Every word you have received was meant to awaken what heaven already placed inside of you. You are chosen. You are marked. And now you are called to walk boldly into the destiny written over your life. Think carefully about what has been stirred in your heart. Do not let it fade into the noise of the day. This is your moment to agree with heaven, to seal what you have heard with action. You have been reminded of your identity, your authority, your crown, and your eternal sealing as a child of God. Do not keep this truth silent. Let it become a fire in your spirit. If these words have spoken to you, I want to invite you to respond with sincerity, like this message, not as routine, but as agreement with what heaven has declared over your life. It is your yes in action, your way of saying, I receive this. N. Share it. Because someone else is waiting for the very same confirmation you just received. You may not realize it, but your act of sharing could be the moment that shifts another person's destiny. And write in the comments a simple declaration, your voice matters. Every word typed becomes a marker of your faith. Let your comment be a stone of remembrance, a public agreement that you are chosen. If you have not yet, subscribe and stay connected, not for numbers, but for nourishment. This is a stream of words designed to strengthen, guide, and remind you continually of who you are. Do not wander away from the flow that feeds your spirit. Chosen one. This is not coincidence. Heaven paused everything to deliver this message to you. Now, walk in it unshakable, unstoppable, and forever chosen.